Guys, I have sad news to tell you. It's so sad. I don't think I can play Secret of the Mimic in VR. Oh, it's so sad. All right, anyway, putting that like short bit aside there. Yeah, so basically from what I can tell, Secret of the Mimic isn't going to be coming out on VR for like Steam and PC and stuff like that. So a little bit of a change of plans in terms of some stuff. Actually, it's for the better, to be honest. I'm still streaming Secret of the Mimic tomorrow, like the plan was, except this time I can do it for even longer because I don't have to worry about like a headset dying or stuff like that. So since it's not in VR, we're going to be doing an extra long Secret of the Mimic marathon, if you will, and basically just expect a super long stream or potentially like 2 streams in the same day. You guys will have to let me, what the heck happened there? You guys will have to let me know what you guys want me to do. Just leave your opinions down in the comments, whether you want a big stream or 2 big streams, pretty much. But anyway, kind of just right on into the video. We kind of just rushed into that, but basically this video is just gonna be me sitting here talking about Secret of the Mimic stuff for like 15-ish minutes, give or take. Very little editing, no script, and no like in advance preparations, well, except for like kind of coming up with a few ideas, but it's pretty much just a non-scripted. I just got home from work, sitting down talking about this game that's coming out tomorrow because I was going to make a video earlier and then I didn't, and then yada yada yada, here we are. So anyway, to get down to business, the thumbnail of this video was probably why some of you guys may have clicked on the video, potentially. I mean, that's a big drawing factor. The theory for the start of the video, the big theory that I have for Secret of the Mimic is actually going to have to do with the ending of the game. And this was something I actually touched on in my Ruin rewrite video, which you guys should totally go check out. But in my rewrite, I kind of played up the fact that the Mimic was buried in Murray's costume manor, and that's what sunk under the ground, and that's where he's buried. And I actually do think that's kind of the route they're going, because when we look at the location the Mimic is in Ruin, the whole like sunken underground place, it does give off the vibe of a way older location, older than any Freddy's location we've ever seen. And some of the areas, like there's that hallway with the big fan, and that you know, you go into after you can split off to go to the scooper room. Like there's a scooper room, there's that big hallway with the elevator. That all to me looks like and feels like something straight out of Secret of the Mimic, like out of Murray's costume manor. So I think what's gonna happen is that at the end of the game, or maybe in like some cutscene at the end of the game, I'm not entirely sure, we're gonna bury the Mimic. I think that's what's gonna happen, or somebody is, maybe not us specifically, but somebody is going to bury the Mimic, or like the building's gonna sink into a sinkhole into the ground, and then that's where we find the Mimic later on. And then like Fazbear Entertainment years down the line will go down there, resecure him, set up all their like conveniently placed forklifts and the little wrench pads and whatever. But I think in general the game is going to end with the factory collapsing and the Mimic getting buried underground due to the collapsing, you know, factory. Just because it looks so similar to what we see there, especially with like other costumes in the building. I know the biggest theory for the longest time was that like this was some Freddy's location that they brought the Mimic to, and then they also brought the costumes there. But I think the costume room itself could be explained away by that, but everything else, like the big industrial hallway, elevator, scooper room, screams that this is Murray's costume manor. And I think that's what we're gonna see. So that's kind of the big theory idea that I have for the game, as like a, whoa, I think this is what's gonna happen. And that's kind of like the biggest point of the video. But you know, outside of that, a couple other things I want to talk about with the game. On the one hand, I'm super hyped for it. I'm super hyped. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a great time, especially on stream. It's gonna be tons of fun. And with the stream, feel free to like join and leave if you have to, or like stuff like that. You know, don't feel like you have to stay the entire time if you're gonna watch. As well as like I'm gonna be taking breaks throughout the stream because it's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be our longest stream or streams that we've ever done. So I'm gonna take breaks as well. I'll take like a couple minute breaks every now and then. So just kind of give you a rundown of what's gonna happen. I'm thinking potentially 2, because I don't want to do like a 13-hour stream, because that's like just nuts. So I don't know how long the game is, to be honest. Like, I mean, it could be like 2 hours, it could be like 20 hours. I don't know. So I think what we're gonna do is potentially 2 streams, one earlier in the day, or like when the game comes out. I'm gonna be watching for that on Steam. Like, I'm gonna wake up, be watching Steam for when it releases. I'm really hoping they don't do a stupid day early release. I would be extremely pissed off if they did that, because some of us don't have the ability to have time off to just take a whole week off to prepare for Secret of the Mimic, right? Like, I'm taking Friday off, or I guess for you guys tomorrow. I'm recording this, you know, a day early. Tomorrow for the people watching this video, I have that day off, but I can't take, for you guys watching, today off because, you know, I have to work. So if they do an early release, I'd really hate that. If they release it on the 13th, that's a smart thing to do. That'd be great. I'm gonna be looking for it. Once it drops, I'm buying that and I'm downloading that baby right away. Maybe I'll put like a little community note too that says like, I'm downloading the game, get ready for the stream. I'll get the thumbnail up, I'll get the stream ready and prepped to go. I don't know when it would, you know, start, but I'd get that all going. And then once it's done downloading, just pretty much starting the stream right after that. No like specific time, just starting right after that. And then we're just gonna get right on into the game, like, because I'm just excited to play it. So just basically back to back to back, we're just gonna be doing it. And then as like, we'll do the first stream, we'll do a good chunk of the game. If the game's really short, maybe it'll be 1 stream. If it's a real long one, you know, we'll do the 2. So we'll do a stream for a good few hours, and then at some point we'll find the stopping point. We'll stop, I'll take a break, you know, go do something else, eat, do whatever I would need to do. Then we'll do another stream later in the day, and then if we're still not done, we'll push it into Saturday. So that's kind of gonna be the rundown of things. We're just gonna make the entire game streaming. Also, I'm doing that because 1, it's fun, and 2, whenever I post videos for like, new game just dropped, they like never do well. So I'm thinking if we just do a stream, even if the stream doesn't do well, that's less editing for me to do, and I can kind of get more of the game done. So anyway, that's kind of the big rundown for tomorrow. Tons of streams, tons of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Some other details with the actual game itself and not like scheduling. Some of the characters I'm looking forward to. The little vacuum. I think it's the vacuum guy. He's got like the arms and he's got like the little Murray bow tie looking thing. He's so cute. He's gonna be my best friend. If that guy can be like a companion, if you can get companions in the game and he can be one of them, me and that guy against the world. He's so fun. So I'm looking forward to that. To me, there's the picture. I might put it up. There's a picture that they posted on their Twitter of like the kind of hub location where you see like an early helpy, and to me it does kind of seem like that it might be a hub and we have to go to different sections to do specific things rather than like a linear story or a like full open world exploration. It seems like we'll have different pockets we can go to go do this thing and then come back to the hub, reset, redo what we need to do, and then go to a different part. That's what it's seeming like to me. Obviously, I don't know, but it kind of seems like the game will be, we get there, almost similar to some of my rewrites, to be honest. You get there, the first part of the game will probably be fairly linear. You gotta, you know, you run into the enemy, you run into Jackie or the Mimic or whoever, you find out like, okay, this is what's happening, I gotta do this thing, you make it to the hub, and then after you're done with like the linear start of the game, it's more open world, you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do, and then probably the end of the game would be more linear, where you have to then focus in and like either take down the Mimic or trap the Mimic or something like that. So I'm kind of thinking that's going to be the rundown of the game, if you get my drift. Like, just a more open world than something like Ruin, but also more linear than something like a regular FNAF game. And I think they talked about that, how they were going to make the game less linear than Ruin was, and anybody who says that that's what their game that's what the game's gonna be gets my thumbs up of approval, because Ruin was way too linear for my liking. I think it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna really like it. The only thing I'm still worried about is the feel of the game. I'm not sure if it'll feel like a Five Nights at Freddy's game, because to me, Ruin does not feel like a Five Nights at Freddy's game. It just doesn't. and to some people it does, to other people like me it doesn't. I'm worried Secret of the Mimic isn't gonna feel like a Five Nights at Freddy's game, but there is still potential that they could have some fun areas if they have an office section, which it seems like they might. But if it's an actual like survive in the office for a handful of time, that would be really fun. I'd have a ton of fun with that. So if they include a lot of good FNAF elements that make it feel like a Five Nights at Freddy's game, even if Freddy doesn't show up himself, I think we'll be okay. That's just really the biggest concern I have. I have no concern that it's like gonna be boring or it's gonna be bad. I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a blast. Just the feel of the game is what I'm worried about. And outside of that, I feel like we are gonna also see some actual FNAF characters in there, because FNAF and Fusion got their little like gifts from Steel Wolf. I don't know why I almost questioned myself on that. They got their like bunch of gifts and whatever, and they got those little like Spring Bonnie bobbleheads, which, man, I want one of those. Why didn't Steel Wolf send me anything, huh? I would have, you know, done a whole big advertisement for them. Where's my stuff? But I want one of those bobbleheads. They're so cute. But the Spring Bonnie bobblehead does give me hope that we're gonna see Spring Bonnie. The biggest thing I want in the game, they don't even have to be enemies. I don't have to fight them. The biggest thing I want in the game is to just witness and see classic Scott style Fredbear and Spring Bonnie standing on a stage. That's all I want to see. I don't care if they move. I don't care if they stand still. I don't care if there's anybody in the suits. I don't care if they're evil whatsoever, if they're trying to hunt us down. I don't care about any of that. I just want to see them physically appear somewhere. They don't even have to be on a stage. Just physically show up so that we can actually see their full, you know, in canon, quote unquote, designs for once, because we've never seen them. Fredbear, the closest thing we've gotten is the jump scare in Ultimate Custom Night, and, you know, for Spring Bonnie, the closest thing we've gotten is the cut model that was going to be in Help Wanted. So really not a lot to go off of for their designs. I just really want to see them in a game, and that's kind of my biggest hope. I don't even need to see Freddy Fazbear himself. I don't care. I just want to see those two because they're classic, they're iconic, and I just really hope they're in the game. The Spring Bonnie bobblehead gives me hope, and some of the Fredbear posters also give me hope, but those also could just be little like Easter eggs, oh, and then they don't actually do anything with them. So that's my biggest concern, but also hope with the game is inclusion of FNAF related material that would actually make it feel like a Five Nights at Freddy's game, because it would be a little hard to have a FNAF game without at least one Freddy in the game. This would be the first one that doesn't have a Freddy, I think, right? Because all the other ones do in some way, shape, or form. So this would be like the first FNAF game that wouldn't have a Freddy if he doesn't show up. So I have a feeling he will. Even potentially Freddy Fazbear himself in the old like circus costumes that I think FNAF and other people have talked about. There's the potentiality of him showing up, which would be cool. I would be fine with that. They kind of have to, is almost what I'm trying to say. Like, they kind of have to have Freddy show up because he's been in every game. FNAF 1, you have Freddy. FNAF 2, you have 2 Freddys. FNAF 3, you have Phantom Freddy. 4, Nightmare Freddy. Sister location, you have Funtime Freddy, you know, Molten Freddy for Pizza Sim. Ultimate Custom Night has so many Freddys. Help Wanted, classic Freddy's back. Security Breach, Glamrock Freddy, Ruin, Glamrock Freddy, not his face, but, you know, the rest of his body's there. And then Help Wanted 2, obviously, you know, Glamrock Freddy, Funtime Freddy. So Freddy kind of has to show up. I'm just curious how they're going to do it. And if he doesn't show up, there's going to be a lot of backlash. I will be vocal about the game not including him if he's not in there. I'm fairly certain he will be. If he's not, I will be very vocal against the game for doing that, because that would be really stupid. And I know people have talked about before, like, oh, well, Freddy doesn't show up because this is an older time in history. I get that. Also, counterpoint, it's a Five Nights at Freddy's game. Freddy should be there. Also, we know Freddy's there because they had a poster of him in the freaking the demo when everybody showed up for the demo in that one place. I don't know what it was called, but it was like back in September or whatever, or like August, whenever that was. And they had like the demo Secret of the Mimic, and they had like the poster set up, and it was like Freddy Fazbear gonna open soon, and they showed Freddy. You can't have a poster of him and not have him in the game, so he's gonna show up. But anyway, I've rambled about that long enough, and honestly, that's almost about it. The other biggest thing I have that I think I won't like the game about, and just automatically I won't, and I think it'll still be fun, don't get me wrong, but I think I won't like it, is Music Man showing up. The huge Music Man, I won't like that. Well, I don't get why there's ginormous freaking Music Man here. I like everything else. The Mimic makes sense. He fits for the time, some advanced animatronic AI, but there's like just one of them. He's a prototype. That makes sense to me. It seems like we might get like, you know, the pretty primitive animatronics that Edwin Murray's made, potentially other Springlock costumes that, you know, Fazbear or other people have made. Giant Music Man, I just can't work with that. And that's already a thing I don't like about the game. It's not going to drag the experience down, and it's not going to drag my thoughts on the game down. Well, it might a little bit, but that's just the biggest thing I'm already automatically not going to like about the game, is just the feel. Like, you have everything else that kind of works for the time period, technology-wise. I don't even care that there's, like, primitive staff bot or, like, stuff like that. I don't care about that. I think, you know, FNAF's a place with a lot of advanced technology. Makes sense. Basically, like, small building, like a residential house-sized Music Man showing up just doesn't make sense to me. Why is he here? We had regular-sized Music Man in Pizza Sim, and then we had huge Music Man for the Pizzaplex. Why is he here all the way in 1979? It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. That's one that you cannot explain away at all. I think there's no explanation for why he's here. It just doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's enough ranting, rambling, shenanigans with Secret of the Mimic. I have kept you guys here long enough with all of my random talk. And yeah, anyway, I guess moral of the story, I'm really looking forward to the game, but there are places where I'm concerned about the actual like how it's actually gonna work out. So obviously the only thing we can do is just wait for the game to come out and play it. But other than that, you know, I think it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a great time. You know, be there for the live streams. It's gonna be really fun. And yeah, I guess that's really about it, you know, for the end of the video here. Let me guys, what the heck, let me guys, let me know, you guys, let me know what your thoughts are gonna be on, like, for Secret of the Mimic, right? Like, what do you think about the game right now before it comes out, the day before it comes out? What are you guys thinking about it? What are your, you know, pros? What are your cons about the game? Just let me know your thoughts down below. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow with some more rambling about Secret of the Mimic, except this time we'll actually be playing it. So I hope you guys are there, and I'll see you then.